Captain Ethan Carter stood on the bridge of the human starship Horizon, staring at the stars that stretched endlessly before him. The hum of the engines and the soft blinking lights of the control panels filled the room. He had spent his life among the stars, exploring systems no one else dared to visit. Beside him, Lieutenant Claire Dawson monitored the ship's sensors, her sharp eyes moving quickly over the data. "Captain," Claire said, pointing at the main screen, "there's a fleet approaching. Unknown ships, heading straight for that mining station on Loris 5. Ethan frowned. "Unknown? That system is supposed to be quiet. Are they hostile?" Claire shook her head. "I can't tell yet. Their signatures are strange. They don't match any known trading vessels. But they are armed." Ethan turned to the communication console. "Open a channel." A moment later, a voice came through the speakers. It was sharp and harsh, not human. "This is Ambassador Varkle of the Thark's Dominion. Humans, you are not welcome here. Leave immediately, or face destruction." Ethan leaned back, studying the words. The Thark's Dominion was one of the largest alien coalitions in the galaxy. Their species was tall, with green, scaled skin and yellow eyes that never blinked. They were known for being proud and ruthless. "Humans," Varkle continued, "you have been warned. Do not interfere with our territory. Your kind is dangerous. But luck only protects you for so long." Ethan smiled faintly. "This is Ethan Carter of the Horizon. We are not looking for trouble. We are escorting miners and traders. You can attack if you wish, but we will defend them." Varkle laughed, a sound like rocks grinding together. "Defend them? You are just humans. You are weak. We will destroy you." Ethan pressed a button, alerting the crew. "Red alert. Shields up. Prepare weapons. But stay ready for evasive maneuvers first. I don't want to start a fight, but we are not running either." The crew moved with quiet efficiency. Engineers adjusted power to the shields. Weapons officers checked their plasma cannons. Claire guided Ethan through the sensor readings. "They have at least 10 ships, all armed. If they attack directly, they could overwhelm us." Ethan nodded. "Then, we make them underestimate us. Humans always find a way." The Horizon moved closer to the mining station, and through the view screen, the alien fleet became visible. Their ships were long and jagged, moving with precise formation. The miners on Loris 5 were unaware of the danger until the aliens arrived in orbit. A human freighter, small and slow, tried to run. One of the Thark ships fired first. A bright beam cut through the darkness and hit the freighter. It exploded instantly. Alarms blared on the horizon. Ethan clenched his fists. "That's it. They want to make an example. Let's make sure they learn a different lesson." He gave orders, and the Horizon moved forward. The ship was smaller than the Thark's vessels, but humans had built it to be fast and flexible. It darted between asteroids, twisting and turning where larger ships could not follow. The aliens fired blindly, their weapons missing as the Horizon weaved. Claire's voice was calm but tense. "Captain, I have a plan. We can use the asteroid field to our advantage. If we lure them in, their ships will have trouble maneuvering. Then we can strike where they are weakest." Ethan nodded. "Do it. But keep the miners safe. They must not be harmed." The Horizon led the Thark's fleet into the asteroid field. The massive ships struggled to move quickly among the rocks. One collided with a smaller asteroid, taking damage, and another misfired, destroying part of its own hull. "Nice work, Horizon," Claire said, her eyes bright. "They are slowing down." Ethan smiled. "Humans know how to fight where others fail. That's why they fear us." The Horizon's weapons fired carefully aimed shots. Plasma bolts hit weak points on the Thark ships, causing explosions and confusion. The aliens were not used to fighting humans. They expected fear and retreat. but the horizon moved with confidence. The alien ambassador, Varkal, roared over the communications system. "This is impossible. Humans should not survive. Retreat, or we will wipe you out completely." Ethan's voice was steady. "We are not retreating, Varkal. If you want war, you will get it. But do not mistake us for ordinary prey. Humans survive because we never stop fighting, and we never follow rules that limit us. You will learn that soon enough." The horizon shot past the last line of the Thark ships, taking advantage of their confusion. The miners on Loris 5 cheered, seeing their escort in action. Human courage had given them hope. Meanwhile, Varkal grew furious. His pride as an ambassador was wounded. No one, in his mind, should ever challenge the Thark's dominion. But these humans were different. They did not panic, they did not flee, and they did not surrender. They fought with strategy and daring that Varkal could not anticipate. Ethan noticed something on the sensors. "Claire, look. They are regrouping. They are trying to encircle us." Claire frowned. "If they do, we could be trapped. But I have an idea. We can split their attention. They will think we are fleeing, but we can lead them into another trap near that gas cloud." Ethan nodded. "Good thinking. Humans are unpredictable. Remember that." The horizon raced toward the gas cloud, a swirling mass of green and blue energy. The Thark's ships followed, eager to finish the fight. Then, at the last moment, the horizon turned sharply, using a small asteroid as cover. The alien ships fired blindly into the gas, hitting nothing but clouds of charged particles. Their sensors scrambled. Ethan smiled at the crew. "That's it. Keep pressure on them. But do not destroy more than necessary. We are not cruel. We are just humans, defending our own." The horizon attacked strategically, hitting engines and weapons but avoiding total destruction. One by one, the Thark's ships were forced to retreat, their pride shattered. Varkal's voice trembled with rage. "You may have survived this time, humans, but this is only the beginning. The galaxy will remember this, and you will pay." Ethan replied calmly. "The galaxy already knows the truth, Varkal. Humans do not back down. Humans survive, and humans fight back when threatened. Remember that." The horizon watched as the alien fleet fled. The miners were safe, and the crew cheered quietly, relieved but aware that this was only the start of something larger. Humans had defended themselves once again, and the galaxy would soon learn that underestimating humans was the gravest mistake any species could make. After the battle, Ethan stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. "Claire," he said softly, "everywhere we go, we have to be ready. Humans are not just survivors. We are the ones who change the rules, and anyone who ignores that will regret it." Claire nodded. "I understand, Captain. Humans are different. Others can try to fight us, but they will always face what we are capable of." Ethan turned the ship toward the next system. "Then let's make sure they see it early. The galaxy must learn the first law of the stars. Do not mess with humans." As the horizon sped through the darkness, the stars seemed to shine brighter, as if acknowledging that humanity was no longer a small species in the corner of the galaxy. Humans were here to stay, and anyone foolish enough to challenge them would pay the price. The crew worked silently, each knowing that the universe was vast, full of dangers, but also full of opportunity. With courage, intelligence, and determination, humans could survive anything. And as long as the horizon sailed through the stars, that lesson would be made clear to every species that dared to threaten them. For Ethan Carter and his crew, this was not just a battle. It was a warning, a law that the galaxy could not ignore. And somewhere out there, Varkal and others would soon learn that humans were not to be tested. The horizon moved swiftly through space, leaving the gas cloud behind. The crew remained alert. Even though the Thark's fleet had retreated, Ethan knew they would not stop. Aliens like Varkul never admitted defeat easily. They would come back, stronger and angrier. "Captain," Claire said, checking the sensors, "I can detect several ships moving through nearby sectors. They are not alone. I think they are gathering forces for another attack." Ethan nodded. "We expected that. The Tharks will not rest until they test us again. Prepare the crew for anything." In the engineering bay, Sam and Rachel worked quickly. They were young engineers, but their minds were brilliant. They modified the Horizon's shields, adding extra layers to absorb energy blasts. They also prepared new types of weapons that could disable alien engines temporarily without destroying entire ships. "This is going to surprise them," Sam said with a grin. "They think humans fight the same way every time. We don't." "We," Rachel laughed. "That's why they will never understand us." Meanwhile, on the bridge, Ethan studied the star map. "We need a strategy," he said. "We cannot fight their fleet head-on. We are outnumbered, but humans are clever. We can make them make mistakes." Claire pointed at the screen. "There's a system with a dense asteroid belt and several abandoned stations. We could use it as bait. They will think we are vulnerable, but we can set traps." Ethan smiled. "Good. Humans fight best when others underestimate them. Let's lead them into it." Good. A few days later, the Horizon approached the asteroid field. The abandoned stations were quiet and broken, remnants of old mining operations. To the alien fleet, they seemed like easy targets, but Ethan knew every rock and every station could be used to their advantage. As they entered the field, the sensors detected alien ships moving in from multiple directions. There were more than 20 now, each armed with heavy weapons. Varkul was leading them personally. "Captain," Claire said, "they are trying to surround us. We need to act fast." Ethan nodded. "Divide and confuse them. Use the stations. Move between asteroids. Make them waste energy, tracking us." The Horizon darted through the field. It was smaller than the alien ships, and its agility allowed it to twist and turn in ways the larger ships could not. One alien ship fired, but the blast struck a rock and shattered. Another miscalculated and crashed into a station, causing an explosion. "Nice work, Horizon," Claire said, keeping calm despite the tension. "They are panicking." Ethan's voice was steady. "Good. Keep the pressure on. Humans fight better when the enemy is confused." The Horizon used its special weapons. Sam and Rachel had prepared pulse blasters that disabled engines for a short time. Several alien ships slowed down and drifted helplessly. Others collided with asteroids, or each other. Varkul's voice came over the comms, full of rage. "This cannot be. Humans should not survive. You are lucky this time. We will destroy you completely next." Ethan replied calmly. "This is not luck, Varkul. Humans survive because we think, we plan, and we never give up. You will learn that soon enough." The battle continued for hours. The Horizon moved quickly, using every advantage. The humans repaired minor damage immediately. The alien ships, larger and less flexible, suffered more with each maneuver. At one point, the Horizon split its energy. Some weapons targeted engines. Some targeted weapon systems. The aliens could not recover. Several ships had to retreat, leaving Varkul frustrated. On the bridge, Claire smiled slightly. "They are losing formation. If we keep this up, we can force them to retreat entirely." Ethan looked at the sensors. "We will not destroy them completely. Let them go. But let them remember what happens when they underestimate humans." The Horizon fired a final salvo. Alien engines failed. Weapons went offline, and Varkul had no choice but to retreat. The humans had won the battle without unnecessary destruction. Later, in the crew quarters, Ethan addressed his team. You did well. Today, humans showed what we are capable of. But the galaxy is watching. There will be more challenges. Aliens who hear of this will fear us. Some will try to fight us anyway. That is why we must be ready. Claire nodded. They are learning that humans are different. We survive where others fail. And we fight with more than weapons. We fight with our minds, with strategy, and with courage. Sam and Rachel joined them. We've upgraded the Horizon's systems further, Sam said. We can handle more attacks. The Tharks will not know what hit them next time. Rachel. Ethan smiled. That is why humans survive. We adapt, we learn, and we are unpredictable. That is the advantage no one else has. The crew worked quietly through the night. Repairs were made, systems upgraded, and plans discussed. The galaxy was vast, and humans were small in number. But they had something every alien species feared: courage, intelligence, and unity. Days passed. Reports came in from other human ships. Everywhere humans were present. Aliens hesitated. Some tried to challenge them. But most fled before a fight even began. Humans had a reputation now. It spread quickly, and the galaxy learned that humans were not ordinary beings. In one sector, a small alien trade convoy hesitated when they detected a human ship nearby. They tried to negotiate, offering resources and supplies. Humans accepted the exchange peacefully, but remained cautious. They had learned that showing mercy could be as powerful as showing strength. Ethan gathered his crew again. Humanity is becoming known across the stars, he said. Some will fear us. Some will challenge us. But none will ignore us. That is how it must be. Humans survive, not by hiding, but by standing firm, by being clever, and by showing that we cannot be controlled. Claire spoke softly. Some may think that our courage is simple stubbornness, but it is more than that. It is hope. It is the belief that no matter the odds, humans will survive and protect what is ours. Ethan nodded. Exactly. That belief is stronger than any weapon, and anyone foolish enough to ignore it will face consequences. As the Horizon continued through space, the crew prepared for the future. Scouts and sensors were deployed, ready to detect any threat. Every crew member knew the truth. Humans were not just survivors. They were pioneers, fighters, and protectors. In the Thark's dominion, Varkul returned to his command. His pride was shattered, and his fury burned. He had underestimated humans, and now he knew the danger they posed. He began sending messages to other alien leaders, warning them to avoid conflict with humans. Yet, even with these warnings, some were tempted to test the humans' limits. Ethan and Claire watched the stars. The galaxy is learning, Ethan said. Humans are not weak. Humans are the law of the stars now, and the more they try to challenge us, the worse it will be for them. Claire smiled. Then we will be ready. Humans always are. The Horizon moved silently among the stars, fast and sleek. The galaxy was vast, but humans had already made their mark. They had shown that numbers and size did not always matter. Courage, intelligence, and creativity could overcome any force. For Ethan Carter and his crew, this was just the beginning. They would continue to travel the stars, protecting humans, helping allies, and teaching enemies that humans were not ordinary. The universe was a dangerous place, but humans were more than capable. And somewhere, Varkul and others were already planning their next move. They had learned a lesson, though it had come too late. Never underestimate humans. That lesson would echo across the stars for a long time. The Horizon sped on, ready for the next challenge. The galaxy was full of threats, But humans faced them with courage and skill. Every star they passed, every system they entered, was a reminder. Humans survived because they were relentless, resourceful, and fearless. Ethan looked at Claire. This is the way humans survive. We think differently, act boldly, and never give up. That is our advantage. Claire nodded. And the galaxy will remember it. Humans cannot be ignored, and anyone who tries will regret it. The crew continued their journey, vigilant and ready. They repaired, planned, and trained, knowing that the next threat could be bigger. But they were humans. They always found a way. For the first time, many species began to whisper a warning across the stars. The law of the stars had been tested, and the result was clear. Humans were not to be trifled with. The horizon had left the asteroid field behind. The human crew was exhausted, but determined. They had survived the Tharks attacks and protected the miners on Loris 5, but Ethan Carter knew that the real challenge was still ahead. The Tharks were not known for giving up, and they would be back, stronger and smarter. "Captain," Claire Dawson said, studying the sensors, "we are detecting alien fleets moving in from multiple sectors. They have gathered more ships than before. I think they are preparing for a full-scale attack on human positions." Ethan rubbed his chin, thinking carefully. They want to make an example. If they strike now, they hope to scare other human colonies. But we are not scared, and we are not alone. We need to be ready to show them exactly why humans are not to be underestimated. In the engineering bay, Sam and Rachel were already at work. "Captain," Sam said, "we've been modifying the Horizon's systems. Shields are reinforced, weapons are optimized, and we've built special devices that can confuse their sensors. When the fleet arrives, they won't know what is happening until it's too late." Rachel smiled. "We're ready for anything. The Tharks think humans are small and weak. They are about to learn otherwise." Ethan nodded. "Good. Humans are clever, and we fight smart. That is what makes us dangerous." As the Horizon moved toward the next system, the sensors picked up the Tharks flagship approaching. It was enormous, larger than any ship the humans had faced. Its weapons glowed ominously, and smaller escort ships swarmed around it. Varkle was aboard, and his anger radiated through the communication signal. "You survived the last attacks," Varkle said. "You are foolish humans. This time, there will be no escape. Surrender now, and your lives may be spared." Ethan's voice was calm. "We do not surrender, Varkle. Humans, protect what is theirs. You will learn that again, but you will not enjoy it." Claire leaned over the sensors. "Captain, their formation is tight. If we engage head-on, we will be destroyed. But I have an idea. We can use the gravity of the nearby gas giant to our advantage. If we force them closer to it, they won't be able to maneuver properly. That's where our strike can succeed." Ethan nodded. "Excellent. Let's make them think they are chasing us. Humans always fight smarter than they appear." The Horizon moved as if retreating, luring the Tharks fleet closer to the gas giant. Smaller escort ships tried to cut off the human vessel, but every time they approached, the Horizon darted between moons and asteroid debris. The Tharks flagship followed blindly, confident that humans would eventually give up. Ethan ordered, "Prepare the pulse blasters and the magnetic disruptors. When we get close to the gas giant, hit them hard." The human crew worked efficiently, adjusting power and double-checking systems. The tension on the bridge was high, but each member knew their role and performed it perfectly. Humans thrived under pressure, and the Tharks would soon see why. As the Horizon neared the gas giant, the Tharks flagship was in position. The massive planet's gravity pulled at the ships, making their movements sluggish and predictable. "Now!" Ethan shouted. Sam and Rachel activated the devices. Pulses of energy disrupted the Tharks sensors, causing their ships to misfire and crash into each other. The smaller escort ships collided with asteroids, or were trapped in the gravity of moons. The flagship struggled to maintain control, but its size made it slow and vulnerable. Claire guided the horizon with precision. Aim for their engines and weapons. We do not need to destroy them all. We just need to show them humans are not to be trifled with. The Horizon's weapons fired with accuracy, hitting the weak points of the Thark's ships. Explosions lit up space, and the alien fleet's formation fell apart. Varkul's voice came through, filled with fury and disbelief. "How is this possible?" he roared. "Humans should not survive this attack. Withdraw immediately," Ethan replied calmly. "Humans survive because we adapt, we fight, and we never give up. You have learned that, Varkul. Perhaps you will remember it next time." The human crew moved with unity and skill. Every maneuver was calculated, every shot purposeful. Even as the Thark's flagship tried to escape, the Horizon followed, hitting systems with precision. In the chaos, Claire noticed a smaller Thark's command ship trying to flee with important data. "Captain," she said, "they are escaping. If we let them get away, they will rebuild and strike again." Ethan considered briefly. "We cannot destroy everything, but we can stop them from returning quickly. Prepare a strike team. We go aboard that ship." Sam, Rachel, and a few trained Marines joined Claire in the shuttle bay. They boarded a small fighter, using the gravity and debris of the gas giant to approach the Thark ship stealthily. As they entered the enemy vessel, alarms blared. The ship's crew scrambled, trying to stop the intruders. But humans were unpredictable. Claire and the team moved quickly, disabling weapon systems and taking control of the engines. Sam worked on the communications and sensor systems. "Captain, we've shut down their ability to call for help. They won't be able to regroup immediately. Come on." Claire looked at the enemy crew, who were frozen in fear. "This is not about cruelty," she said. "It's about teaching them a lesson. Humans fight when threatened, but we fight smart." The team set charges in key areas of the ship, enough to force it to surrender but not to destroy it completely. The Tharks were stunned. They had never faced opponents who used brains over brute force. Ethan's voice came through the comms. "Varkul, your fleet is crippled. Your flagship is damaged. And one of your command ships is under human control. Retreat now. Humans are not to be tested lightly." Varkul's voice trembled with anger and fear. "This is not over, humans. The galaxy will remember this." Ethan replied simply, "Then you will remember, humans are not to be trifled with. That is enough for now." The Horizon and the strike team returned to safe space. The crew worked quickly to repair any damage from the battle. Humans had shown that even when outnumbered and outgunned, they could win with courage, skill, and intelligence. Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread. Alien races whispered warnings to each other. Humans were not to be tested. The stories of the Horizon and its crew became legendary. A tale of courage and cunning that others could not ignore. Ethan stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. Humans have survived again. But more importantly, we have shown the galaxy that numbers and size are not the only measure of strength. Humans fight with their minds, their hearts, and their courage. Claire nodded. And anyone foolish enough to challenge us will learn that lesson the hard way. Sam and Rachel joined them. "Captain, the systems are ready for the next attack," Sam said. "We can handle any fleet that comes our way." Ethan smiled. "Good. Humans are ready, always. And we will continue to show the galaxy why no one should underestimate us." The Horizon moved onward, faster and stronger. Each star they passed reminded the crew that humans were small in number but mighty in spirit. They had survived impossible odds and proven their worth. In the Thark's dominion, Varkul faced his leaders. His pride was shattered, and his report to the council was filled with humiliation. The humans had outsmarted them, defeated them, and left them fearful. He had underestimated them. And now the galaxy knew. Humans were not ordinary, and anyone who ignored them would pay dearly. Back on the horizon, Ethan addressed the crew. We have survived, yes. But this is just the beginning. The galaxy is full of threats. Some will fear us, some will challenge us. But humans will always survive and protect what is ours. That is the law of the stars. Claire smiled. And humans are not just survivors. We are clever, courageous, and relentless. That is what makes us different. The crew worked quietly but efficiently, readying for the next challenge. Humans had shown the galaxy that they were not to be trifled with, and that message would spread far and wide. Ethan looked at the stars, feeling a sense of pride. Humans survive because we do not follow the rules others expect. We fight smart, we fight boldly, and we never give up. That is why no one should test us. The horizon sailed through space, carrying humans who were ready for anything. And somewhere in the galaxy, Varkle and other alien leaders would think twice before challenging humanity again. The humans had turned the tables completely. The Thark's fleet was defeated, humiliated, and fearful. And the law of the stars was clear. Never mess with humans, for the consequences could be deadly. As the horizon moved onward, Ethan knew that humanity's legend was only growing. More systems would hear their story. More species would understand that humans survived against all odds. And more enemies would learn that testing humans was the gravest mistake they could make. Humans were clever, humans were courageous, and humans would not be stopped. That was the truth the galaxy would remember for a long time. The horizon sailed through deep space, its engines glowing softly against the dark backdrop of stars. Captain Ethan Carter stood on the bridge, looking at the sensors and the stars beyond. The humans had won the last battle. But the galaxy was vast, and there would always be new threats. Lieutenant Claire Dawson joined him, her eyes scanning the displays. Captain, the Tharks are sending messages to their allies. Other species are warning each other about humans. Our reputation is spreading fast. Ethan nodded. Good. Let them fear us. That will keep many from attacking unnecessarily. But we cannot stop there. Humans must continue to show that we are strong, clever, and relentless. That is the law of the stars. In the engineering bay, Sam and Rachel were at work once again. Captain, Sam said, we've been reinforcing the horizon even more. Shields are upgraded, weapons optimized, and we've added new systems that can disrupt enemy sensors over long distances. If another fleet comes, they won't know what hits them. Rachel smiled. The horizon is ready for anything. The Tharks will regret ever challenging humans. Ethan looked at the crew gathered on the bridge. Humans survive because we plan, we adapt, and we fight with intelligence and courage. That is why we win. That is why no one should ever underestimate us. Reports began to arrive from other human colonies. Everywhere, humans were present. Aliens hesitated to attack. Even small human trading vessels were now escorted by skilled crews, using the same tactics the horizon had perfected. One day, a message arrived from a distant human colony. It was simple, but urgent. Captain Carter, the Tharks are attacking a nearby colony. They have more ships this time. We cannot hold them alone. Ethan looked at Claire. It is time. Humans do not run from threats. We go to protect them. The horizon moved at top speed toward the threatened colony. Along the way, Ethan reviewed the plan. We cannot fight their fleet directly. They are stronger in numbers. But humans fight smarter, not just harder. We will use strategy, terrain, and surprise to our advantage. Claire nodded. We can use the nearby asteroid field and gas clouds. If we lure them in, they will make mistakes. As they approached the colony, the alien fleet was already there. Ships fired at civilian structures, causing panic and chaos. The colony's defenders were struggling, and many civilians were trapped. Ethan's voice was calm but firm. Prepare weapons. Alert all systems. We move carefully, but we will not allow them to harm innocent lives. The Horizon darted into the battle zone. Smaller ships followed, each human crew working with precision. Pulse blasters and sensor disruptors were deployed, confusing the enemy ships and causing them to collide with asteroids or each other. Sam and Rachel directed the energy pulses with perfect timing. One by one, enemy ships were disabled or forced to retreat. The humans protected the colony while avoiding unnecessary destruction. Ethan ordered a strike team to board the largest Tharks ship. Claire led the team, moving quickly through space to infiltrate the enemy vessel. Inside, the aliens were panicked. They had expected humans to flee, to hide, or to surrender. Instead, the humans attacked with intelligence and precision. Every move was calculated, every action deliberate. Claire disabled the weapons systems while Sam and Rachel took control of the engines. The aliens struggled, but they were no match for the humans' ingenuity. Ethan's voice came over the comms. Varkle, your fleet is losing. Withdraw now, or you will face complete defeat. Humans do not surrender, and humans do not allow harm to innocent lives. Varkle's voice trembled with anger and fear. You may have won again, humans, but this is not the end. The galaxy will remember this. You will pay. Ethan replied calmly. Perhaps, but you will remember why humans are not to be tested. That is the law of the stars. Anyone who ignores it does so at their own peril. The Horizon's crew worked efficiently, coordinating with other human ships to push back the alien fleet. The colony was saved, and the aliens were forced to retreat. The humans had proven once again that courage, intelligence, and skill were more powerful than numbers and brute force. Back on the Horizon, Ethan addressed the crew. You have done well. Not only have we protected the colony, but we have shown the galaxy what humans are capable of. We fight with skill, with courage, and with intelligence. That is why humans survive. Claire added, every time humans are tested, we adapt, we learn, we overcome. That is why we are not just survivors. We are leaders. We are protectors. And the galaxy must understand that. Sam and Rachel nodded. The Horizon is ready for anything, Sam said. If the Tharks or any other species tries again, we can handle them. Humans will always survive. Ethan smiled. Good. But remember, it is not just about fighting. It is about teaching the galaxy a lesson. Humans are not to be trifled with. We survive, we protect, and we win. News of the victory spread quickly. Other alien species began to fear humans, warning each other not to attack. Traders and explorers were more cautious when humans were nearby. Humans had earned respect, and in many cases, fear. Varkle returned to the Tharks' dominion, humiliated and furious. His pride was broken, and he could no longer dismiss humans as weak. He sent warnings to other alien leaders. But some were tempted to test humans anyway. They would learn, as Varkle had, that humans were not ordinary and not to be underestimated. Ethan continued to lead his crew through space. Each day brought new challenges, new systems to explore, and new threats to face. But humans were ready. They adapted, planned, and fought with courage. One evening, as the Horizon passed through a calm sector, Ethan spoke to Claire quietly. We have done much to protect humans and show the galaxy our strength. But this is only the beginning. Humans are growing in influence, in skill, and in reputation. We will be a force The galaxy cannot ignore. Claire smiled. And every time someone challenges humans, they learn the same lesson. We survive, we fight smart, and we are fearless. Ethan looked out at the stars. That is the law of the stars. Never underestimate humans. Anyone who ignores it will pay the price. And that is how it will always be. The horizon sailed onward, carrying humans ready for anything. The galaxy had learned the hard way that humans were clever, courageous, and relentless. They could survive any threat and protect what was theirs. In distant systems, alien fleets whispered warnings to each other. Humans were no longer just a species among many. They were a power to be respected, a law to be obeyed, and a force to be feared if provoked. The Horizon's crew worked tirelessly, repairing systems, training for future battles, and planning for new missions. Each member knew their role, and each understood the importance of their actions. Humans survived because they were prepared, because they fought with skill, and because they never gave up. Ethan spoke to the crew again, as they gathered on the bridge. Remember this. Humans are not ordinary. We survive where others fail. We fight where others flee. And we protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is why we are strong. That is why the galaxy must learn the law of the stars. Never mess with humans, Claire added. And anyone foolish enough to ignore it will face the consequences. Humans do not forgive recklessness when it threatens life or freedom. The crew nodded. They were humans, and humans had a reputation now. They had survived impossible odds, defeated larger fleets, and protected countless lives. And they would continue to do so, no matter the cost. Ethan looked at the stars again. Humans are clever. Humans are brave. And humans will always survive. That is our gift. And that is our law. The horizon moved through space, a shining symbol of humanity's courage and skill. The galaxy was vast, full of unknown dangers, but humans faced them all with intelligence, determination, and heart. Every system they passed, every fleet they encountered, learned the same lesson. Humans were not to be tested. Humans survived because they were different, stronger in ways others could not understand. And the story of the horizon, of Ethan Carter and his crew, would be told across the stars for generations. For humans, the law of the stars was clear. Never underestimate them. Fight with them if you must. But know the consequences. They survived against all odds, and they would continue to do so. Courage, intelligence, and determination were their weapons. Unity and honor were their shields. And no one, not the Tharks or any other species, could ignore what humans had proven. Ethan Carter stood quietly on the bridge, Claire beside him. The horizon moved steadily onward, carrying humans who were ready for whatever the galaxy would throw at them next. They had shown the universe their strength. And now, the stars themselves seemed to watch, knowing humans were not to be trifled with. Humans had survived again. They had won not only by fighting, but by being clever, brave, and relentless. And that was how it would always be. The galaxy would remember. The law of the stars was clear. Do not mess with humans.